The more somebody tells me to trust them, the more I know I shouldn't. The Sherman Antitrust Act, passed in 1890, sought to prohibit the crazy anti-competitive practices of businesses in the Gilded Age. Almost unrestricted laissez-faire capitalism had turned a few men into real-life Scrooge McDucks and ran everybody else out of business. Out of this came trusts, or arrangements in which stockholders in several companies transferred their stocks to a single set of trustees. With these powers, trusts could easily become monopolies, which essentially says that there's one supplier of a good, service, or even industry. They could easily control factors like price, quantity, innovation, and could eliminate competition. And remember, competition is good. Competition is the reason that your cell phone doesn't look and sound like this. So why does the Sherman Antitrust Act matter? Well, at first it didn't. It was pretty toothless, and it had these giant loopholes that Uber corporations could easily exploit, and was only really effective going against one kind of group that it thought had conspiratory business practices: unions. I mean, this thing was so weak that it couldn't even dent the American Sugar Refining Company when it was used in court, and that company controlled like 98% of the refining industry. Sherman, you're a punk. That is until Teddy Roosevelt. Trustbusting Teddy used this limp act like a lasso to hogtie trust like the Northern Security Company, a railroad giant. Well, of course he did. This was a man that machoed his way out of asthma when he was a kid. Backed by a useful interpretation of the Interstate Commerce Clause, a more specific and deadlier Clayton Antitrust Act, and the creation of the Federal Trade Commission that would investigate such practices, the Sherman Antitrust Act has been involved in more breakups than Taylor Swift. When will she find her happiness? This act took down Rockefeller's Standard Oil, took down AT&T, it even got shots in on Microsoft back when getting on the internet used to sound like this. Yeah, I know, it kind of sounds like a computer being stabbed while vomiting. Perhaps the reason it matters the most is it represents the US government taking an active role in business. It certainly has valid points both for and against it, but you should remember its purpose as explained by the Supreme Court in 1993. The purpose of the Sherman Act is not to protect businesses from the workings of the market, it's to protect the public from the failure of the market. The law directs itself not against conduct which is competitive, even severely so, but against conduct which unfairly tends to destroy competition itself. And that's why the Sherman Antitrust Act matters. Let me know in the comments what you think. Does the act protect the public, or does it punish the successful for being successful? If you like this video, click the button that lets me know. Make sure you're subscribed. Be safe, and I'll see you next time.